being successful is trying your hardest, doing your best, and never giving up. My name is Roberta Leventhal. I live in Roslyn, New York. I was one of 3 girls. My father always wanted a boy, so daintiness was not part of the vocabulary in my house. We were very physical kids. We played all the sports that boys did. I'd like to run, play ball, but I was never really the featured athlete. Coordination was lacking totally. I am a matrimonial attorney. Admittedly, I don't get much joy from my work. What does give me great pleasure is for many years of my life, probably dating back to the time I was in college, I have been preparing children to become bar and bar mitzvahs. I was trying to get into the Arizona Ironman, and the only way I could get in was through one of the travel sites or picking up a training or camp slot with TBC. That was the smartest and probably the most fortuitous thing that ever happened to me. I ended up taking the camp option, and I trained with my present coach, Ryan Rio. He blew me away from the outset. I will tell you one thing that really won me over. I had my own coach at the time. I was only 2 months away from competing at Ironman Arizona, and we were out on the course. I might say it was a practice run, practice bike during those 2 or 3 days. And I was so enthralled by the fact that this was a guy who really seemed to care about every single one of us as individuals. Just his dedication to each one of us for helping us do our best, and somehow just being able to reach us all was pretty momentous. And it was at that point I knew that I had to switch coaches, and did so within the next several months, and was elated that I did. If only I had started with TBC when I first started triathlon, gosh, I'd be a different athlete. Sensational. That's the only word. I first started triathlon about 5 or 6 years ago. I got on my bike, I biked. I got in a pool. Someone did teach me the mechanics of swimming, but I really never understood what a stroke was, never had any technique work. Similarly with running, someone said lean forward, so I bent over. Had no clue as to the fact that there was something called technique in each of these disciplines, meaning run, bike, swim, until I came to TBC. And I don't know, I just know that every day I am getting better and stronger. Just wish I had started earlier. Goals. In terms of triathlon, my dream was to get to Kona, and thanks to Ryan and TBC, I got to Kona. And for anyone who has put Kona on the radar, it is truly an incredible, life-altering experience. What makes Coach Ryan so unique is his ability to put together a schedule every week for me that I know if I follow is going to be improvement in all 3 disciplines. By that I mean, for years I just followed a schedule. I biked when I was supposed to bike, I ran when I was supposed to run, and I swam when I was supposed to swim. And like so many of my friends and other athletes, you follow the schedule and you hope to meet with success, but that doesn't always happen. And I think it's not enough to just do your best and follow the schedule. It's the person behind the schedule. And that's what makes Ryan so incredibly gifted. I never trained, I'm not going to say as little, but I didn't train as many hours as I did in the past, but I've never also met with so much success. Additionally, you don't get any of the nonsense feedback. He tells it the way it is, and I need to hear that. I don't need someone to say to me every day, good job, good job. Although sometimes I joke and I say to him, come on, I want to hear great job, great job. But he does tell it like it is. I know when I haven't done what I should in a workout, and what's equally impressive to me is that at the end of every week or whenever I ask, he can show me with numbers and graphs and charts really what I did and what I accomplished. Sometimes it's difficult for me to understand, but I know he's the brains in this whole equation. He's an exercise physiologist. He understands the biomechanics, and I leave that job to him. Somewhat mindlessly, I say, okay, Ryan, it's okay. Just give me the schedule. I know it's going to work, and I'll do what I have to do. One of the problems that I confront as an individual all the time is that I'm constantly questioning, never take things at face value. So if someone tells me to run a mile at a certain pace, deep down I'm saying, why am I doing this? Does he know what he's doing? And I want to question everything, and that leads to utter confusion. And then you begin saying, should I be doing something else? And with Ryan, I've come to learn that I don't have to question. And that's the greatest gift. I just do. It's almost like being mindless, but that's what you're paying someone to coach you for. You have to trust them, you have to listen, you have to believe in them, and that's what I've done, and it makes training that much easier. Hey, Coach Ryan helped me to complete 3 Ironman in an 11-month period, and I got to Kona, and I can't say that without almost jumping up and down with excitement. When I finished my Ironman in England, that was in the UK in July, I was dancing the whole way through the marathon with my hands and arms raised in the air screaming, Kona, Kona, Kona. It's wild, but I never could have gotten to Kona without Ryan. If you're not happy with your performance thus far, if you don't believe you've been as successful as you believe you should be, if you've been putting in the time and all the hard work and you're not where you want to be, it is time for a switch. If it hadn't been for my switch, which was a real hard choice to make, it's often hard to leave something you're familiar with and then go into an unknown territory. It was the smartest move I ever made. Give Ryan a chance, you won't be disappointed. As I indicated at the beginning of the interview, I live on Long Island in New York, and needless to say, there are numerous training groups, teams, clubs with whom I could be associated. And I'm probably one of the few people that is not affiliated with a group or a team. And what that means is that, yes, I may be giving up somewhat the group rides and the camaraderie, but what that also means is that I can be serious about every individual workout. If you're going to really attack each workout the way that it's written, it is hard to believe that you're going to find somebody else, a friend or a peer, that is going to be doing exactly what you're doing. So being on your own is really the way to go. And that doesn't mean that I'm in isolation all the time. It just means that if I'm going for a ride, I may meet up with someone 2 hours into the ride or pass them on the road, but I'm doing what I need to do. In terms of having a long distance coach, it doesn't make a difference. I mean, really, just think about it. You can Skype, you can speak on the phone, and one of the best things about TBC is that I do get to see my coach. I've seen him once or twice over the course of the year. I know that when you buy into a certain level of training, you get a free camp, which I did, which was, actually stupendous. But also, I really believe that if you want to make the time to meet with your coach, he or she is going to be available to you. It's just the nature of who they are. And I can say that if ever I need Ryan, I know that he really is only a phone call away, an email away, and I don't think the distance has made a difference at all.